Hi, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're continuing Avatar, The Last Airbender. This is Book 2, Chapter 6, titled The Blind Bandit. Who's that gonna be, the Blind Bandit? We know of a character who's kind of behaving like a bandit at the moment, and that would be Zuko. But he already has an alias, and that's the Blue Spirit, so I'm not expecting for them to all of a sudden call him the Blind Bandit. But yeah. It's going to be intriguing to see where we're going to go from here. And we had a long talk in the last one about both what happened with Aang and Katara and Sokka and all the silliness in that department. And then to some more serious stuff with Zuko and him leaving Iroh. Like, what the fuck, man?
One does not simply leave Iroh.
No, exactly. But I think we are just going to jump straight into it. You can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions for Avatar and all the other shows that we're doing on our Patreon page. The link is down in the description below. And let's go. Alrighty, The Blind Bandit. Once again, from the title, that did not, pan out at all like we maybe like how we thought it would, like
how you thought it would be.
How I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, I could just speak for myself here, and thought it maybe had something to do with Zuko or something like that. But nope.
No Zuko.
We didn't even see Zuko. Yeah, in this episode, him or Iroh. But what we did get was an earthbending teacher for Aang. Finally.
Yeah.
And definitely not the kind of earthbending teacher that one would, think of in first when you think earthbending teacher and stuff like that. But I really loved that sort of twist there. And she's the blind bandit, and then there's this whole wrestling element to the thing. And her family is rich and keeping her there because she is blind and thinks she's all fragile and he needs to protect her and all that bullshit, even though she can definitely handle herself, or handle.
You can say that again.
Yeah. And she's really, really talented. Like, that was some awesome earthbending. Probably some of the, just when it comes to a fight or combat involving earthbending, this was outside of some of the stuff we saw in the episode where Aang, he was kind of, they were trying to provoke him to get into the Avatar state. That would be the first episode of this season. And also just what we saw from King Boomy back in the first season when they visited Omashu for the first time. Other than that, but this takes the cake. Like, it was really, really cool, really awesome, and just the way they did the animations and her listening and the details there, and yeah, it was just very entertaining and very well done.
And it makes sense that she's so good and she's so talented because she's blind. So she's relying on the vibrations from the earth, as you said.
Freaking Daredevil, man.
Yeah, and she didn't when you could definitely see whenever Aang was lifting off of the ground, she basically didn't stand a chance.
She had no idea where he was because he was very light on his feet.
And because of that, that's why she could easily take on the earthbenders, because they would always be grounded and
they're making a lot of noise, especially when it comes to them and the ground.
Yeah, they're stomping a lot, and that those vibrations they use, you could. That was also one of the things that was so neatly visualized when we saw it from her perspective, was how these, when they stomp the ground to some sort make a movement.
Yeah. It was almost earth. And it did kind of like a sonar thing, and she also mentioned I've never had any problem seeing per se, because I use earthbending, and I use the vibrations everywhere, and then that kind of paints a picture for her, and she can essentially see what is going on around her. She can sense what is going on around her. Except for when Aang is being very light on his feet.
or anyone, because she also didn't see the belt coming.
That's true. If someone just throws an object at her and it's not, or just dropping an object just above her and it's not making she didn't know where that thing was landing, so it just dropped on her head. That was actually kind of fun. And I know it's kind of like a given, but I just like the detail where she ran up to Appa, and instead of looking up at the people she was talking to, she was just staring straight ahead, because of course she's blind. Why would she go like this? So it was just a cool detail and very,
well thought out.
Very much.
Yeah.
And I'm actually really intrigued by the fact that she's now going to be part of the crew. Yeah, moving forward. She's a cool character. I like her already. And
she's feisty.
She's very feisty and sassy. Yeah, exactly. But she also seems like a good person as well.
Yeah.
So it's just all of that rolled up into a new earthbending master for Aang, and so he can get going in that area as well. I'm sure there are going to be some funny situations and a lot of levity with her teaching earthbending to Aang, and maybe those two getting a little bit annoyed at each other and back and forth. But I'm not really expecting for there to be any romantic stuff between those two characters. The only reason why I would think that is because of what happened in the swamp episode, where she was the one that Aang saw, someone you hold dear from or a loved one from your past or your future. So it's she's gonna become a loved one, or is it just on a friendship basis, or I don't know. I just thought of it.
No, for sure anything. Maybe she might be a wedge between her. A wedge between him and Katara.
Yeah, then maybe there's gonna be a little.
And maybe that's the what do you say? The push
that Katara needs to realize that she may be more fond of Aang than she actually realizes herself, even though they did kiss in the cave of two lovers. They did kiss in the dark, so we didn't really see it, but I think it has been pretty much confirmed that they kissed. I don't know. Either way, I'm just glad that she's with them now. Tough.
Yeah, of course.
And she is quite tough. Haha.
That's good, Dad.
Sorry.
But of course, her character, it brings another perspective into this whole. Once again, Avatar is dealing with some great thematics and how we deal with these thematics. And with this, it's a bit of that, disabled kids that are not allowed to be kids and live their lives with their disability, and to overprotective parents that won't. They're so afraid. And of course I understand that you can be overprotective of a kid, especially if you have
the means to actually just walk, stay inside of this palace and have people protecting and everything.
No, that's not what I meant.
Okay, but that is also
of course that's also part of it, because of course they actually have the money to do that. And it's a bit I'm sorry I'm bringing Game of Thrones up, but Robin.
Oh yeah.
Master Robin.
Robin Aaron, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
From the arena.
That perhaps he was not as frail as. It's I'm sorry. This is an actual syndrome. It's called Munchausen by proxy, and it's your parents. They start inflicting emotional or physical pain on your kids. On their kids, and their pain or their affliction. They get so much attention from their kid's affliction. They will go to great lengths to keep that kid in that misery.
Yeah.
And I think of course this is not as clear as other cases.
No.
But I think it does have a little hint of that.
Yeah.
Where parents get so overprotective of their kids that they rather want to completely cut off their kids from the outside world, instead of actually seeing who the kid is and see their disability as, of course, an obstacle, but still like a something that gives the kid character and strength in another way. Because of course,
it's a part
she's
of
not disabled. She has great hearing and she's living a full life.
Yeah.
If she was able to, if they let her.
Yeah.
And that's of course a thing. I understand that, overprotectiveness, definitely.
Yeah.
But I just it holds her back, and my heart just really breaks for her that she has such ignorant parents that I just won't let her live her life herself.
Yeah, exactly. And even just if they had just eased up and let her go out and live life and like just be people didn't even know that they had a daughter. They were like he has no daughter, the rich family there.
Exactly.
So they were like totally hiding her and not letting her be seen by anyone. If they had just done that, like she wouldn't go off and fight, earth-bending wrestlers in an arena if she just had some semblance of a normal life. And they would even have the means to send her out into the world and let her experience the other worlds and cultures and people and like really give her a good start on life, even though she has like one disability that can then be turned to her own advantage, which she did herself. But her parents, they aren't even open to that possibility. They just see that frail little girl. They just see the disability and just as soon as they laid eyes on her, probably it was just like, well, that's a blind daughter. Or like she can't see, our daughter can see, as soon as they figured out. And then they probably decided that no, we're just going to protect her and nothing's going to happen. And just, totally overprotectiveness and not being able to understand your own child's like needs and wants. And it is really sad.
And even when she's running away in the end, he's saying, well, the Avatar kidnapped her.
Yeah.
Because he can't fathom that his daughter has a personality, and she has a very strong personality. And
it's just like someone took her from me.
She has wants and needs, and
you pushed her away yourself.
Exactly, and the way you are handling this situation is not by saying, okay, maybe she has a bit of will of her own, maybe she wants to live her life. She even said so, that she wanted to live her life a bit more and have more freedom. And his response is just like, okay, stricter rules, no freedom at all. And now he's even put on a squad or like a SWAT team or something.
Yeah, like these two are other like the earthbending. Yeah. The earthbending teacher and the guy in charge of the arena, and apparently those two, they don't get along, but just present a chest full of gold and they'll get all chummy and probably work together to try and find her and bring her home. Yeah.
But I think it's a very good reflection of course that kind of parents, because I know they exist.
Yeah. But other than that, I think we're just gonna end it here and say thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we will see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.